Hey everyone, just like the title says, new year, new name, a new project. So this does not mean the end of the Pink Panther, all right? Ooh, there's a picture of the Pink Panther right there. I am still working on the MGB. As a matter of fact, I worked on it yesterday and I worked on it last week, and I'm preparing it for the 2022 season. There are some new aerodynamic rules, so I'm preparing the car for that, and there's a few things I'm changing that will make the car easier to drive and hopefully more reliable, you know, all that stuff, which is good. And we're going to tackle that 2022 season, yeah. And it's going to be an exciting one. The plans for Spring Nationals and Nationals is still up in the air. Don't know what we're going to do with that. There's a good chance of us having a co-drive in a very fast car. And of course, if that happens, then I will be taking video of that. Now, the reason for the new name is because Ultimate MGB name for the YouTube channel pretty much limits me to working on the Ultimate MGB. There's been other things that I've done that I haven't posted on there because of the title. So it is changing the name to Skid Mark. So that is because my name is Mark and I do skids. Okay, so the name is getting changed now. There is another YouTube channel called Skid Mark, but they only have 58 followers and I have 600, I think. So the first person to 1,000 followers gets to keep the name, because that's the way YouTube works. Once you have 1,000 followers or subscribers, then your YouTube name becomes like in the URL. So let's get me to that 1,000. If you're watching this video or if you've seen any of my other videos and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I don't put out videos that often, so it's not like I'm going to be, every day inundating you. Yeah, so we're going to be changing the name, and there's a new project as well. And this is the project there. Okay, so I at the end of this little explanation, I'm going to post some video about that and how that came about, where we got it. It was sitting in a storage container since the year 2000. So that is what we're doing with that car. Now that car is going to be built and raced as well, but it's going to be street legal. That's the difference with the Pink Panther. It was a struggle always with the seat time, because like in 2020 they basically called off our racing season, so there was just nothing happening. And there's no place for me to go with the car without an event being put on. So very frustrating. And the car is, the MGB is a wonderful car. It's so fun to drive and it's so fast, especially now with the new turbo and head and all that stuff. But I just couldn't get enough time driving it. I couldn't develop the car the way I would like. And it was just too frustrating going to nationals and spending. One year we spent $500 just on test and tune runs. But the way that works is they give you an hour. I don't want to get into it. Anyways, I could never get enough seat time to properly set the car up. I think the car can win nationals. And if somebody were to buy that car from me and, move south with it and do a year-round driving it and getting it all perfected, I'm pretty sure it could win. But as it is, me living up here with my very limited set season, can't do it. I just can't do it. So anyways, the new car is going to also be an autocross car, but it's going to be street legal. It's going to be for a different class, and it's going to be a car that does a variety of things. I'm going to be drag racing it. I am going to be doing some road racing, like time attack kind of thing with it. So it's going to make for some very exciting videos. And I want to post those on the Ultimate MGB channel, which is now the new Skid Mark YouTube channel. So please follow along. And here's some video about the Camaro, so you guys know that better.
So in 2017, my husband Mark picked up a 1969 Camaro, 1969 Suburban, and spent up until this year restoring it and renovating it, making it better. He's also built a race car. You can see that at Ultimate MGB on YouTube, as well as I think he has a Facebook page and stuff like that. So once the Suburban sold, it's gone now. It'll be leaving our house soon. We thought we would take on another project, maybe something that I really liked. and that he also liked. So we talked about it, and we thought, well, maybe a first generation Camaro would be something that we could both enjoy. We'd make it set up for racing, like a nice resto mod. And as luck would have it, we ran into somebody who indicated that there might be something in here that we would really like. So come with me, we're going to take a look at our next project.
Well, it is covered in dust.
It's been here for a little while. We did come in and have a quick peek at just to make sure that it was what we thought it was before we took this video. But here is our next project, and you can follow us online and watch us build this into the ultimate cam car for SCCA solo racing. It's going to be amazing and fantastic, and a project that hopefully we will love for many years to come.
Oh God, look at those. Look at this interior parts. What is going on with that? What is that, velvet?
It's velvet.
And these seats over here, yep, also, oh my God.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
It's got a little bit of work.
It needs a little bit of work. Yep, there's a fender. Yeah. Ooh. Awesome. Awesome. This is exciting.
Hey Mark, why not bring it all the way forward, and then we'll pull the pallet out, like you'll put it down, we'll pull the pallet out and rest the car directly on the trolley. Like this.
All right, well, this is what it looks like after getting back from the blaster. Now's when the real assessment of what kind of shape it's in takes place, like that. Ugh. Oh well. Yeah. Well, that's the car. All right, the Camaro is sitting in primer, and we got it back home, and I bought myself a quick jack down there so that we can lift the car up and do the work that I need to do on it. And all right, so a couple of things I need to address. This little ugliness underneath the rear driver's side, sorry. That bit of, you shouldn't see right through there like that, but I think that is going to be mostly corrected when I put the wider wheel wells in here, because this wheel well is coming out of here. So I think when the new one goes in, I think it'll mostly take care of that. And we got some porousness in the passenger side floor there. Let's see, the doors are mangled. I think I already shared a picture of that. Doors are mangled. Here's the weird thing though. This trunk was replaced, and yet it still has these holes in it. Like, why would you bother replacing with something, I don't know. Anyways, that's that. But that's about all. That is about all. Well, we got this little bit up here. See this? People tell me this is a result of leaving the distributor in when you try to take the motor out. But I'm thinking of recessing this maybe to move the motor farther back, but that's a long ways away. I'm not sure how that affects all this stuff, so I may just, I don't know. I would like to move the motor back a little further just to get better weight balance in the car when it's finished, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. So when I had my garage built, I allowed for the fact that I'm a car guy and I'm gonna have car parts, so I had an attic put in up there. Now, parts like this fender, maybe a little too heavy to pull up on a ladder, no problem. I installed a winch. So I can winch stuff up to the second level. So you can see I got my hood and I got my snowblower. Snowblower comes up here with the winch too. And the fender and car parts, just lots of car parts back there. Yep, so that's how I do it. Okay, I welded in a new passenger side floor, and you can barely tell, if at all, where the seams are. So that's exactly what I wanted. So yeah, it's looking good. And it's the same way underneath on the underside. It's all looking good there too. Hey, I'm out here in my garage, and I made a thing. So here's my 67 Camaro. Check this out. That should make working on the metal all around it pretty easy. And it's universal. I can use it on other vehicles too. That's some cool shit right there. Come on. So here's the underside of the Camaro. Now, these cars are just spot welded together. So if you don't know, the manufacturer comes in with a machine and it just spot welds. Like so, this here, as an example, there'll be just a spot weld there and a spot weld there and this kind of thing. Just spot welds. And like this whole lip right here, oh, well here you can see spot welds. Okay, so that's a spot weld, that's a spot weld, okay? So that is the only place that this panel is joined to this panel is through these little spot welds. So what I've done is I'm going through the whole car and I'm seam welding it. So this whole lip here, as an example, was just spot welded every few inches. And I have actually welded it all together. I still have to grind it back and make it look pretty. But that edge is all welded. Same here, like this is a thicker section of metal that's spot welded, and you can see the spot welds there, and there, and there, there. That part is welded to this part. Same up there. So all that stuff is just spot welded. So I'm going through the whole bottom of the car now that I got this beautiful rotisserie, and I am solidly welding it all the way around. So up there you can see this is only welded there and there and there. I'm actually welding around all those areas, and it stiffens up the whole structure. Like I want the car to be stiff because, you know, back in 1967 when this car was built, you know, the tires were, you know, 7-inch wide bias ply tires. They had no traction at all. Well, I'm going to be putting like 11-inch wide, 12-inch wide radial high grip tires, which would absolutely bend this car into a pretzel with the cornering forces that I will be seeing. So I don't want to put a full cage in the car. I just don't want to have, like, this needs to be a car that's also a cruiser on a Sunday night. So I don't want to have to climb past a cage to get into the driver's seat, or my passengers to climb past a cage. So I will have a roll hoop, and I'll have some bars in there. I'll have a 6-point roll cage in there, but not like some crazy big. So I want the car to be as stiff as possible. So I'm seam welding the whole thing, and it should make it a lot better. Well, this by far is going to be the most intimidating thing that I'm going to have to do so far on the Camaro. But you'll see that these frame rails are rusty, both sides. Frame rails rusty. You'll see that see those holes in the trunk floor. That's also rust. This floor was replaced, but whoever replaced it with a shitty one as well. So it's all got to go. So, oh, and this tail panel is going to have to go too because it's in bad shape. All right, so yeah, like look at this down here. Okay, so here's what I got to do. I got to cut all that. I got to cut all that out and somehow keep this straight. And I'm really worried about it. So what I've done is I've got my quick jack. I built these exactly 1 foot high stands all around. They're all exactly 1 foot high. The Camaro is now up on the quick jack. This height is exactly perfectly level. All 4 corners, it's all perfect. This I've discovered back here. This side is 1 inch higher than that side. So there's some twist going on here. So what I need to do is, or what my plan is, I bought a bunch of metal and I'm gonna build a framework that's gonna bolt from here. These are factory bolt locations. It's gonna bolt here and over there. Gonna go down to the ground, and it's gonna make this level as well. I'm gonna make this perfectly level, and basically I'm making a framework. I'll cross brace it, and I'll go from the bottom, I'll weld it up to somewhere in this area, and what that'll do is it'll keep all of this straight and level while I cut all that out. And I'll cut all that out. I'm gonna leave the tail panel in now, for now, because that's gonna, what my brace is gonna bolt to. I'll leave that in place, but I'm gonna cut everything out and weld in the new stuff. See, I have the new stuff. Here's the, that's the new trunk floor. There's the frame rail, one of the frame rails. I have another frame rail that's coming in, and then those are my mini tubs. So the mini tubs, they go in here, and they are wider, so I can fit bigger tires in. So anyways, that is this weekend's projects, cutting all that out. I got the rear pan welded in there. I only got 1 frame rail welded in because I only have 1 to weld in. I'm still waiting on that one to arrive, but this one's all welded in. It's all looking really good. See, it's all spot welded all the way down. And I've started making the cuts, the necessary cuts for the mini tubs that are going in here. Like this is where this normally would be. It's cut back. This has to still be cut. That still has to be cut for the mini tubs. And here are, okay, so here's the passenger side. This is the passenger side wheel tub, right? So this part here, the brown part, gets replaced with this part. So you can see the difference in width there. You can fit a much bigger tire on there. So it's actually almost 3-inch difference. So I'm pretty happy with how that's all looking. So I gotta wait for the other frame rail to arrive, but I should be able to get a bunch more of this welded in there in the next couple of days.